Alright, this is actually kind of a primer lesson. One of the things I'm always working on in my playing is my alternate picking. It's something that I always find I need to work on, especially as I get into the upper tempos. So what I decided to do is I'm actually going to be writing a fairly simple picking etude, and this lesson today is actually just going to be about just exercises to kind of get you up to speed. We're going to be starting off with this note. It's going to be E on the 7th fret, 5th string. I've got my, we'll put our first finger on it for right now. Now, one thing to remember, alternate picking means down and up. We're going to put our metronome on about 60, like my trash metronome. And we're just going to play eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now one thing, you want your eighth notes to be as even as possible. You don't want the downstroke being any heavier than the upstroke or vice versa. All right? Try to do this without anchoring on the front of the guitar. One of the things, if you were actually to see me play a show, you're going to see occasionally I'll anchor. I'll feel where the front of the guitar is. It's not a part of my technique that has to be there. With beginning students and with people that are trying to play more in time, I really try and make a point of having them not anchor while we're doing this stuff. What you want is you want a physical sense of where your hand and where the point of the pick is relative to the string without looking at it and without having to really be too much in contact with the front of the guitar. I used to be pretty anti-anchor for everything, but the reality is that sometimes it can be useful, sometimes not so much. For today though, we're doing that without the anchor. As I'm playing eighth notes, notice that my forearm really isn't moving too much. I'm playing a strat. We've got the body contour right here. I've got my forearm kind of resting on that, and it's not really going anywhere. Alright, and then the movement's kind of coming from here. Later on that's going to change depending on what we do, but for right now, let's try and get movement there. A lot of my beginning students, they'll kind of lock the wrist and try and pick everything from the elbow. And the problem is that you don't really have very much fine control over where that pick is going, because every small movement you make here gets magnified as you get down here. So we're just trying to relax, unlock the wrist, be nice and even with it. So the very first exercise is just trying to alternate pick. Down, up, down, up. And we're playing eighth notes, so there's 2 notes per click. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... if you want to try and work on balancing the pick strokes, start at an up pick, do it in reverse. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Alright. I've got a whole series of other pick exercises you can do to work on that, but as far as just what we're doing today, if you started on the down pick and alternated and then started on the up pick and alternated, for that would work. And we're just playing the one note and we're just trying to get the motion happening. It doesn't hurt to try and do it on different strings either. Same fret on the string below it. Try it on the very first string, see how it feels. Now I'm on the 6th string. Now, the little bit of melody that we're going to be playing for these exercises, we're actually just playing an E minor scale, up, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So we're going from the first note of an E minor up to the 5th note and then coming back down. So it's going to be 7th fret, 5th string, that's E, F sharp, which is going to be the 9th fret on that string, G, which is the 10th fret on that string, the 7th fret on the 4th string, the next one down, that note is A, and up to B, the 9th fret on that 4th string, and then back down. Now we're actually going to be doing this 3 different ways. We're actually going to be doing it in the 4th position, in the 5th position, and then in the 7th position. But just to get used to it, you want to make sure that you're strictly alternate picking. The way that I just showed you in the 7th position, that's what we're going to do right now, and I just want you to watch my hand as I play this. Now if you notice I'm going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Straight alternate picking. A lot of times people will do the thing where they're going down, up, down, down. on the next string below because that's the direction they're heading. It's just easier to pick down there. We call it economy picking. It's a different style of picking, and I typically don't teach that until someone's got their alternate picking a little bit more consistent. For me, the alternate picking kind of is it's the root of all healthy right-hand techniques, and that's one reason why I spend a lot of time working on my own. I've found that if you can alternate pick well, even things like sweep picking end up being a lot easier to accomplish. So that's kind of our mission today. So we're thinking down, up on the next string. All right, your picking is relative to the time. You're going down on down beats, up on up beats. The down beat is the click, it's the first half of each beat. The upbeat is the and, it's in between those metronome clicks, 1 and 2. So no matter what string you're on, you're going to be alternate picking relative to that, not depending on what string you're physically playing. Now, we're going to start off in the fourth position one. We're using this E root for all of this. And you're going to have E, same place you had it, 7th fret, 5th string. And then on the 4th string, we're going to have the F sharp on the 4th fret. G is on the 5th fret, and then the A is on the 7th fret, and then we've got B on the 3rd string on the 4th fret. So you're going down. Right, and if you watch my right hand, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now the 5th position one, we got your middle finger here. Now, a lot of times people will do this, will put their 3rd finger here because their 1st finger is kind of the position marker. That's the lowest fret we're going to play. It's harder to reach between these 2 fingers than it is between these 2 fingers. So I'll usually, when I'm playing 2 whole steps in a row where we've got a fret between each note, I'll usually go 1st finger, 2nd finger, 4th finger. You could try 1st finger, 3rd finger, 4th finger, but to me it just doesn't really make it as easy to make those stretches. Alright, so we're not playing this note here, but we're actually starting as if we were spread out that far, because the next string we will be. So we've got our E, same place, which is the 7th fret, 5th string. We've got F sharp on the 9th fret, 5th string. We've got the G on the 5th fret, 4th string. A on the 7th fret, 4th string. And then the B is on the 9th fret, 4th string. So we're going up. And then we have the one I showed you at the beginning with your 1st finger. Now, all I'm doing today is I'm giving you some things to work on to prepare your technique for the piece of music. I might actually do a series of little picking etudes that are going to work on different things. But this will kind of get your hands working a lot better in that regard. So you've got the 3 that we did there in this octave. Or if you watch this hand. And then I'll move up to here. And the key is make sure you're doing this with a metronome always. Right. And just work those till they become very natural feeling. I have the metronome set to 60 beats a minute. As you do this, it doesn't hurt to, if you are comfortable and you're doing it correctly at that tempo, move it up, 2-3 beats a minute. Gradually keep moving it up. After a while, you're going to be playing it pretty quick.